Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Davo from Esports, bringing you another 1v1 StarCraft 2 cast today. This time on GSL Daybreak. In the top right hand corner we have our blue Protoss, who is EGINcontrol, and then in the bottom left hand corner we have LiquidSheth, who is our red Zerg. Both very, very notorious players, very good at what they do indeed. So, a little bit of trivia for both players. Okay, let's start with EGINcontrol. He is known as the Bear Toss by many people and many of his fans. He also holds a incredibly popular show called State of the Game with other people such as Day9, and there are guests such as EG, stuff like that. You know, he is also part of Team EG, which by the way stands for Evil Geniuses. And they have some really good players on board as well. They are one of the key competitive teams about, actually. I have to say they're really, actually very good. Obviously, Team Liquid, bringing it over down to Sheth. Again, Team Liquid are also very good as well. So a little bit of trivia about Sheth. He raised over $1,200 for charity in a 24-hour StarCraft 2 marathon. And he also plays with his keyboard on his lap, which is a bit different, let's put it like that. Oh, this probe is going to be a pain in the arse from EGINcontrol, and he is going to be patrolling back and forth, stopping Sheth from getting his expansion up as quickly as he'd probably like, unfortunately for him. Awesome, and of course Team Liquid as well, a very good team. Now, just how annoying is EGINcontrol actually going to be? Very annoying indeed, it would seem. He is putting down the pylon down that will pretty much stop Sheth from getting his natural expansion, because obviously you can't position it properly with a blooming great pylon in the way, unfortunately. But there we go, EGINcontrol just about not letting his opponent. He almost blocked his opponent from putting down the hatchery as well, which would have been pretty hilarious, really. Limiting your Zerg opponent to a kind of a one-base play for a while would be pretty cool. Why not? We also have EGINcontrol definitely blocking off here, because he does have the forge on the way, and a pylon on the low ground, and a forge as well is usually a telltale sign of this kind of area here being blocked off by a Protoss player. And it's quite a popular strategy, really. I believe someone, it may have actually been EGINcontrol, once said, if you don't fast expand versus Zerg as Protoss, you're not doing it right. Basically, and I can see that might be a little bit true, to be honest. It does work very well indeed. Now we do have the hatchery going down here, which is a little bit further away from this mineral line than planned, but I mean, Sheth just must really want this expansion. He will be on 3 base pretty quickly. In essence, I mean, he's almost double expanded, so he's going to be having a very strong economy if EGINcontrol lets this happen. And to be honest, as EGINcontrol is blocking in, he won't have as many units as he would usually have, which leads me to believe that yes, he probably will let LiquidSheth have this 3rd expansion pretty soon. Or given the option, he wouldn't give Sheth the expansion, but there we are. Unfortunately, it has been given. We do have Zerglings scouting about the map, making sure there's no funny business going on, like pylons where they shouldn't be, those pesky pylons. And of course we do have at the Xel'Naga Watchtower, which is very important, because this Xel'Naga Watchtower on this map actually controls pretty much the vision that sees everything leaving the Protoss base. There are parts of it where you can escape a base, like if you come around here, without being in the Xel'Naga Watchtower's kind of visuals, but I mean that will take a very long time indeed. So really it may be worth doing something else as well. And of course, as a Zerg player whose Protoss opponent has actually blocked in, it is important to see when the Protoss opponent actually moves out, because when he does move out, he'll have a very strong force, or should have a very strong force indeed. And of course, Sheth is going to want to know when that is coming. I remember usually it was Protoss would build up a hell of a lot of Colossus, against Zerg, and then just do one fat Colossus push just near the end of the mid game, or early kind of around the mid game. That's what I'm trying to say. Basically, against Zerg opponents, the Stalker running up here looking like he's going to go and try and catch that Overlord, and I'm sure he will be able to, as even though Chef is really good, his Overlord micro is a bit lacking, because unfortunately Overlords are really, really, really slow. Okay. Lovely. I'm not actually sure if there's such a thing as Overlord micro. Hey, there we go. It definitely died with a little bit of a blood splatter. Next to that pylon, that crisp, clean-looking pylon, Chef will, EGINcontrol will have to hire some sort of pressure washing service in order to get rid of that Overlord's muck, and I imagine that extractor would look fairly filthy as well. But we do have the Zerglings here. I'm not sure if Chef actually knows that this is blocked off at the moment, but unfortunately it is, and losing 2.5 Zerglings. I mean, that one Zergling there has 7 HP left, so that's 1 cannon shot left, 1 zealot attack left, so he was very, very lucky to escape with his life indeed, Mr. Zergling. Or it might be Mr. Zergling, who knows. Okay. Awesome, so the Stalker and Sentry mix do take down that little supply depot here. That can prevent a block-in, from Protoss players in the early game, but generally speaking, now that we are pushing this a little bit later on, I mean, Chef, for example, is actually getting his layer now. Now that we're pushing this early on, there's no need for this really to be here for EGINcontrol at all. It holds no strategic significance. Okay, so, I mean, in the long run, we could say that Chef's scouting has been pretty good. I mean, not bad. But one thing that he hasn't seen yet is exactly what tech his opponent is going. And it can be seen that, I mean, EGINcontrol has 7 gateways now, and Chef doesn't actually know about any of them. In fact, he doesn't even know about the Twilight Council that has gone down, and is actually researching Blink as well. So that is different. Also, we have a robotic spray on the way, so it does look like maybe we will see EGINcontrol cranking some out of the smoke there, so he can block those Zerglings in. Very, very nice micro indeed from EGINcontrol. So yeah, sorry, to finish off my sentence from earlier, EGINcontrol will be quote-unquote cranking their Colossus. Awesome. And that's what we might be seeing later on in the game. We'll just have to see what happens. Amazing! Meanwhile, we do have quite a large Roach army on the way from Chef as well. Of course, Roaches are very, very good. Very nice armoured units that can help a Zerg player transition nicely into the mid-game. But, I mean, when your Protoss opponent blocks in like this, he's kind of handing the mid-game to you on a plate as a Zerg player. As you can see, Chef has already expanded 3 times. Twice even. He has 3 bases. Awesome. So we do have the Protoss army kind of moving up here a little bit. It does look like they'll intercept these Zerglings really, really nicely. I almost just said Zerglot, like the achievement. And blink to the other side, just so the Zerglings can't actually get away. Excellent. Cool beans. And we also have a Warp Prism on the way as well, which I think looks like it's probably either going to be used for drops or reinforcing the army mid-battle, of course, which is a really, really good idea. I don't actually think many players use the Warp Prism enough. They generally do tend to just plop down a pylon instead. But of course, the Warp Prism as well works in a transport capacity and will let you do almost anything. Now these Zerglings are actually getting through the force fields just through the side here, but it isn't so much of a big deal because this clump of Roaches here couldn't actually get to the Protoss army. Now we do have a lot of stuff being warped in here from EGINcontrol as well. He is very much in control of this fight, but it's more force fields coming in between the hatchery and that ledge there, which definitely makes this a very painful time to be a Roach in Chef's army. Unfortunately, it does look like perhaps this hatchery will go down, or at least it would have gone down. Yep, it's gone down. That being shot at by a few little stalkers there. A really, really nice fungal growth coming from Chef's infestors as well. And this looks like it could actually be cleared up fairly soon from Chef. which is pretty, I wouldn't say surprising, but it was a fairly good push from EGINcontrol. EGINcontrol did in fact lose a, he did lose quite a lot of stuff there. Unfortunately, Chef did in turn lose an expansion as well, which is never good. But I mean, he did take his expansion very, very early in any case. Now we do have these Zerglings running in here, and they did look like perhaps they're actually going for some sort of crazy kind of run by. I think Chef could benefit greatly from destroying this destructible debris here, because then it would be harder for EGINcontrol to actually put force fields across this ramp. But it does look like he might just be going around the corner and up this ramp here instead, where there are no destructible debris at all to worry about. We have Mutalisks on the way for LiquidSheth as well, which really increases the, I don't know, effectiveness of the Zerg army. I mean, it means that basically things can't move and they get damaged. I'm sure many of you who are watching this will probably play StarCraft anyway, so you probably know what I'm on about, but just to recap for those who don't actually know anything about StarCraft, or for that matter just don't play, basically, yeah, the fungal growth holds units into position whilst dealing a pretty substantial amount of damage. It has to be said that it's a little bit better towards light units than armoured, but it's still very good as it is, and it allows Zerg to really use their fast units like Mutalisks and Zerglings to get a nice around very quickly, and actually, if they're used in conjunction with Banelings, they can be very dangerous indeed, fungal growths. Awesome, so we do have what looks to be maybe a drop coming out. Yep, it looks like we might have a drop, maybe, perhaps. Oh, maybe not, because Chef Zergling was on the watchtower and he would have seen all of that. He would have seen all of that hovering by the warp prism and the zealots running around underneath it. There was a little bit of creep here. I don't know where that came from. I think an overlord may have been hovering there and kind of just pooing it out. And a wall of cannons here from EGINcontrol as well, which will make his base very secure indeed. Yay! Okay, and Zerglings and Roaches on the way here from LiquidSheth. They do look like they'll be destroying the destructible debris in the middle of the map. They'll be going pretty quickly. We might actually have a pretty simultaneous attack coming from LiquidSheth as well, who does look like he's going to be clearing out this Void Ray with the Mutalisks almost instantaneously, and they look like they will be actually harassing quite badly, as Mutalisks are known to do with Protoss. Obviously it's made a little bit more difficult by the Protoss, by the Zerg, because the Protoss do get blink. But here we go, here's a really big attack from our Zerg player, destroying these photon cannons that he put up in order to prevent against such attacks. At the same time, we do have Mutalisks going into the same base of EGINcontrol, and this is a really nice pincer attack from LiquidSheth at the moment. Excellent, but a nice blink down there from EGINcontrol gives his unit some mobility, but unfortunately getting caught out there by the Zerglings as well. Ooh, and more Stalkers blinking about the place, basically just trying to clear up this army as best they can. I think Chef, realising that perhaps this is not going to work out for him, borrowing his Infestors and giving it some legs. Excellent, but I mean, these Mutalisks were able to do quite a bit of damage in the main as well, and it looks like they're going back for more. Oh no, and they've got these transferring probes as well, which is really bad news for EGINcontrol. Unfortunately, those probes did die. Quite a lot of them died actually. But Chef not able to quite return the favour of the destroyed expansion from EGINcontrol, and that has yet to be actually seen. More Mutalisks rallied up here as well. It has to be said that the mass Mutalisk lately against Protoss has been pretty aggressive. I think Zerg players have really cottoned on to the fact that mass Mutalisks really can damage a Protoss army quite heavily. And also we have a lot of Lings as well. It's a very high DPS army, seeing as the Mutalisks essentially have a cleave attack, where their attack will attack what is next to their target as well. So we do have another attack. It looks like another attack coming down here as well, but the Zerg macro is really good. Really good indeed. And that is how he has managed to actually get such a huge army like this. And of course the Mutalisks are hovering over the Stalkers as well, but I think Chef needs to be a little bit careful, otherwise he might lose some of those Mutalisks. But it doesn't particularly matter, as EGINcontrol has just GG'd. He has lost his whole army and has left the game. Awesome. Cool beans. So that was a really fun game to watch, and I really enjoyed it. It's good times. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening, whatever. And I guess I'll talk to you guys next time then. Yay! Enjoy playing StarCraft, have a nice day, and all that good stuff. See you later, bye!